The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and the Nigeria Ports Authority, NPA, are some of the government agencies identified by a Senate panel for under-remitting revenue into the Federation account. Now, the Senate had in November 2016 directed an ad hoc committee to investigate allegations of fraudulent activities in the collection, accounting, remittance and expenditure of internally generated revenue of government agencies between January 2012 and December 2016. Now, during the week, the committee submitted an interim report to the Senate where it presented some findings and made some major recommendations.
The Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, has repeatedly stated that Nigeria is finding it difficult to fund the 2017 budget. The federal government recently approached the National Assembly for approval to borrow $5.5 billion from external sources to fund capital expenditure in the 2017 budget. But what if the money to fund the 2017 budget can be gotten from revenue-generating agencies?
The alleged misuse on the remittances are not...
This forms the basis of the investigation by a Senate ad hoc committee which is examining the remittances and expenditure of revenue-generating agencies between January 2012 to December 2016. The chairman of the ad hoc committee presents to his colleagues in the upper chamber the findings of the investigation. He explains that the shortfall experienced in internally generated revenue from government agencies can be attributed partly to inefficiency in the revenue generation, over bloated expenses and poor accounting procedures.
Most of the revenue-generating agencies denied the Auditor General of the Federation access to their financial books and records. Poor funding of these agencies affected their revenue generation capacity and their remittances to the Consolidated Revenue Fund. The agencies keep poor and opaque financial records. Thus, it became very difficult to make profit or declare surplus.
The report showed figures of huge fines not remitted to the Federation account from several agencies, in particular the NNPC, Nigeria Ports Authority, CBN and NTA.
The Fiscal Responsibility Act should be amended in a way to compel all agencies and institutions of the government on compliance with the financial regulation regarding the income generation, accounting and remittances.
Reacting to the report, lawmakers observe that the challenge is more of a legal problem than an accounting one.
If the Fiscal Responsibility Act gives 31 companies or agencies exemption, we cannot extend that exemption to another agency. Every agency must themselves show to the committee the law under which they are failing to remit all revenues collected.
Some of these agencies are irrelevant in today's world. Some of the agencies that are supposed to generate revenue cost more to keep by the federal government than the revenue they generate. The Minister of Finance should look at these agencies. I bet you half of them can be totally eliminated from the books. The other half can be sold and just simply privatized.
This report presented at plenary is only an interim report. The committee has been given an additional 6 weeks to conclude the investigation and came out with recommendations stating the laws which should be amended to ensure that government agencies fully remit what is due to the Federation account.